So when actually Aditya said, come and speak about innovation, education for innovation, I was thinking neither am I like, educationist, nor I'm a very, like, successful innovator, so what I'm going to talk about. And if my talk is going to be a real conversation that can provoke some thoughts, and I don't have to sound intellectual or very smart, then I would actually start with something very basic. And then I said education for innovation, and look at what both those things are about, and what's the purpose of education, what is innovation about. Then I think that the equation of education plus innovation has some flaws, and it has to be education equals to innovation. Uh, that's why I think somewhere we are getting the understanding of what education is wrong. That's why maybe we are not able to, like, innovate with the kind of education we are delivering. And so maybe we have misunderstood it. Maybe we don't know what to achieve with the education. And maybe we are completely lost in what we are supposed to do with the current model of education. And so there's a very little story. I don't know how many of you have read the book called Bed of Procrustes. And there's a story that there was a ruler in the Ottoman Empire, and what he used to do is that anybody who's traveling through his kingdom, he would actually take those guys, take them for a dinner, and then later in the night he will make them sit, like, lie down on a bed, and if they were longer, he will chop their legs, and if they were shorter, he will stretch them to death. And that's what we are trying to do with the education today, that we have boxes, and then we're trying to fit them in. So is education about knowledge or skills? I think it's about imagination and knowledge, skills, whatever. Uh, is education about training? Is it about delivery of information, what we have been talking about? So the MOOCs that are coming up, the other models where we are saying we are trying to innovate with the delivery, is it about that mainly, or is it about empowerment? Is it about helping individuals, find themselves and then create value around? Is education about scores, which we keep talking about, SAT, GRE, GMAT? Is it about employment, or is it about learning? Are we missing the basics points in education, and we're trying to, hop over things which are not so relevant maybe, if you want education for innovation? So if I look at education for innovation, the basic would be that an individual who can perceive accurately, he can think clearly, and can act effectively on self-selected goals. That would be my definition of education. So it's not mine. I was reading somewhere. I like it, so it's okay. And what it helps us is, it helps us bring why. So innovation is not about selfishness. Neither it is about selflessness, because innovation cannot happen in both of these. It's more about it's about a community of people which have self-interest, which is about, I'm going to create something of value to you, which will also create value for me. And if you look at what we need to do today for education for innovation, there are a lot of things happening today which are at a very surgical level. What I believe, we need some very simple, basic first aid, which includes those essentials for innovation, which is something like curiosity. I don't think today anywhere in our education we are addressing the need for curiosity. How do we nurture it? How do we promote it? And if there are individuals who are very curious, how do we create a space for them? So today we talk about units, subjects, courses, but how do we address that? Talk about uncertainty. Where do we have space for uncertainty? Because the purpose of a school is to get into college. The purpose of college is get into a good job. Getting a good job means looking for another good job. So where do we have any space for uncertainty today in our education? And ability to work together with people. Can we communicate properly with others? Can we understand them? Is there how are we nurturing empathy among people? Because if you don't understand your customers or your beneficiaries, how are you going to understand their needs? And how are you going to innovate if you don't understand? Are you self-motivated? Because a lot of times when you're innovating, nobody's going to come and motivate you. It's all about self-motivation. So sometimes you have to be your own hero. Are we addressing that in our education system today? And if we are, What kind of space do we create for individuals so that they can motivate themselves? And then failure. That's, I think, one of our speakers is going to talk about it more. Where is the space for failure in our, I know, we have a lot of private universities have these 3-4 layers of re-examination to get some to make some money. But where's the space? So if we have to include all those things, what do we need? So I think self-discovery is something that is big time missing in our education system today, because most of the time we are looking at ourselves through what other people think of us, which can be flawed. You might have your own strengths, but others just show you your weakness. So, and second is, you have to learn by doing. There is no way you have to wait 4 years in a college and then go and say, I want to work now. I want to apply what I have learned. The education system should have learning by doing model. It cannot be by rote learning, making them give examinations for 3-4 years and then taking them. And third, it's about peer learning. So you don't have to have one professor teaching you in a class. You need to be open to observing things around, because innovation is all about a lot of those moments of epiphany when you just suddenly things click. You get inputs from people you would hardly accept it from. So where are we actually bringing in peer learning into our education system, where we have one roster professor teaching? And finally, I just wanted to bring this because this is the curriculum we are building for Adyanta, which addresses a lot of those things which we strongly feel is missing in the education system today. None of the MBA programs or others are doing it. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Thank you.